Hey, I'm back. It's December, and you know what that means. It means we need to talk about what's up in Japan in November. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that one of the biggest stories is the new Star Wars that's being released, and Japan isn't immune to this hype. There's been all sorts of promotions and posters and everything all over the place. And in fact, one of the things they released is this. This is from Mets, I guess usually it's cola, but in this case it's not cola. But they released these two drinks where they have, this one it's Finn for the light side, and they have like a white drink. And here they have Kylo Ren, who is in the yellow drink. So they have dark side and light side. And they have more than just these two characters. They have any number of light side and dark side characters like Captain Phasma, etc. So you can go out and try these. These are kind of like a diet, so I didn't like them that much. But in general, they're not bad. If you like diet stuff, check them out. Don't think it stopped there, though. At Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto, which for those that don't know is one of the most famous temples in Japan, they recently unveiled a screen. So if you've ever seen those beautiful Japanese screens, you know what I'm talking about. But you can see it here. So the one difference is that this one has a Star Wars theme. They actually used characters. They used Daisy Ridley's character, and they used Adam Driver's character, Kylo Ren, in this. And it's, traditional Japanese style, but it's based on Star Wars. So I don't know how Disney got this and did this, but it looks cool to me, so definitely check that out. Another cool thing that happened recently is the Tokyo University graduation ceremony. So these are famous in Japan because not only do they just, read people's names and give them diplomas, but they also oftentimes have performances by the clubs. And so I'm sure you've seen this before, but they've done it again. So they had the marching and walking performance, as you can see up here, that shows all the different crisscrossing and how people, move together. It's really kind of amazing. It's almost like a military performance. I don't know what this has to do with school, and if I was paying for it, I'd be kind of angry if my son spent all that time in university learning how to walk in straight lines and not run into people. But this is a public university, so it didn't cost that much, and it is the best university in Japan, so I guess the parents can't complain that much. Speaking of military routines, a recent survey showed that Japan is the lowest country when it comes to people who would be willing to fight for their country. So they asked people in Japan, would you be willing to fight for your country? And Japan scored 11%. 11% of Japanese people said they'd be willing to fight for their country, which is the lowest in the world, which is kind of amazing. Some people in Japan were shocked. Some people were not shocked, and I guess that's what they expected. But I was a little bit surprised it was that low. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's an interesting thing. Speaking of fighting, sumo wrestling, as you all know, is a traditional Japanese sport, but there's been some controversy recently. It comes from the Japanese sumo wrestler. I'm sorry, he's not a Japanese sumo wrestler. He's a Mongolian sumo wrestler named Sho Hakuho. And he is now the current champion, the Yokozuna. And this controversy arose because he did a move that's called Neko Damashi. For those that don't know, Damashi means like trick or deceive, and Neko is cat. And so basically this is kind of like a trick move in sumo. So for those that have seen it, usually start and there's two sumo wrestlers and they start, down on the ground with both their hands on the ground. And then they start and they try to push each other out of the side of the ring or throw each other. This move, Neko Damashi, basically what you do is, as soon as they say start, you clap your hands in front of the opposing fighter's face and then quickly move out of the way so the other person falls on their face. And so this is a really funny move. I thought this move was genius, but apparently other people didn't see it that way. They said this move is unbecoming of Yokozuna, and if you are Yokozuna and you've attained that rank, that you should be, really fighting, doing actual moves and not trying to trick people. But Sho Hakuho is a Yokozuna, and he did it. Not once, but twice in the same match. And so now some people are angry at him and saying, it's kind of... I don't know, disrespectful to the sport of sumo. But personally, I think you should be angry at the other guy. How do you get tricked by the same move twice in one match? I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was cool. Other people disagree. I'm not such a big sumo fan, but I thought this move was cool. So I think every sumo wrestler should be doing this. This should be one of the go-to moves. But tell me what you think. While we're on the subject of men with little clothing on, there's been a controversy at elementary school recently. And so, if you don't know, in Japan, after gym class, the students, change clothes. So that's not unusual. But many places, they don't have locker rooms, so they'll just have the students change in the class. And, of course, they don't want, girls and boys, changing in the same rooms, so they kind of go in different rooms. But while the boys were changing, one girl accidentally came into the room, and the boys were a little bit shocked, I guess, or whatever they did, and they didn't like this. So they accused the girls of being perverts, and said, you did this on purpose, and you're just trying to, look at us while we're changing. And this caused, a big fight, and so the homeroom teacher decided to address this, because he's like, this is causing, a big problem between the students. And so normally you just say, drop it, or I don't think she really, did this on purpose. His idea was to tell them that, boys, don't worry. Naked men, they don't make any money. But naked women, that's where you make money. I don't know what this had to do with what they were talking about, but after this, the students told their parents, and now the teacher's in, lots of trouble about this. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. I think he's suspended for now, and I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you think he should be fired for this? Do you think he should be suspended, or do you think nothing should happen to him? Although I think it's stupid, and I really don't know what he was trying to do by saying that. I don't think it was that bad, but I don't know. Maybe he has a history of saying other stupid things. Who knows? And last but not least, one of the things I'm excited for is, in November, they announced there will be a new Kit Kat. I know what you're thinking. They always have new Kit Kats. They have a new Kit Kat every month. But this one is special. This one is the first ever golden Kit Kat. So yes, they're actually making a golden Kit Kat. It's not solid gold, so don't freak out. But it is a Kit Kat that's golden on the outside. They take a gold leaf and they press it on top of the Kit Kat. I don't think they're even selling it in a box. I think they're just selling it one gold stick. And I think they're only making 500 of them, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get. If I can get this, I will, and I'll show it to you, but don't get your hopes up, because with 500 of them, it's a little bit difficult. They're only selling them in a few stores, and also, if you don't know this, in Japan, people are really willing to wait, so I imagine there might be a line out the door to get this. But if it's possible, if people don't know about it, I will get it, and I'll show it to you and buy it. But if not, at least we can look at it. It looks cool. That's it for the November edition of What's Up in Japan. As always, tell me what you think, subscribe, and until next time, see ya. If you enjoyed that video, subscribe. Also, feel free to comment down below and check out some of my other videos here. Or is it here?